Representative Carrick.
I move amendment number 16.
Representative Carrick.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Amendment number 16 was previously offered in the Finance Subcommittee of the Whole and then again in House Finance Committee, and adds $5.2 million per the University of Alaska Board of Regents request for workforce development within the University of Alaska. This funding appropriates money to invest in workforce development programs across the entire University of Alaska system and therefore across the state. Madam Speaker and members of this body, Alaska is facing a workforce crisis. How many times have we heard this from labor organizations, from Chamber, from Americans for Prosperity, among many, many other statewide organizations? I myself am among a group of peers 25 to 40 years old that has the highest level of outmigration in the entire state of Alaska. This funding supports Alaska by supporting the development of Alaska's workforce. The funding supports specific program capacity, Alaska Native Student Success Initiatives at the University of Alaska Southeast, reducing student indebtedness by helping provide additional support for loan officers and loan programs at the University of Alaska Anchorage, and increasing student enrollment in workforce development programs at my home institution of UAF, as well as across the university system. Our university system is critical to providing for a multitude of industries, including the ones that we all as a body care deeply about: mining and resource development, as well as many other skilled tradespersons and contractors who can build back Alaska with the billions of dollars in infrastructure investment money coming to our state. This money goes directly towards programs to produce a workforce that will help build Alaska. I encourage your support. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
In wrap-up, Representative Carrick.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. After years of funding cuts to the University of Alaska, pursuant to a compact agreement that the University Board of Regents and the administration signed under great duress, it is time to reinvigorate and reinvest our higher education system and to supply needed funds for workforce development, which should be a key priority of every member of this body, as it is for many organizations around the state. The University of Alaska Fairbanks changed my life. I would not be here in Alaska today. I would not have continued to work and now serve the people of Alaska were it not for the opportunities and the advantages provided to me in my program and in my institution at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. I am a proud student, former staff member, former faculty member, and alumni of the university system. It is there that I found my home. It is the reason that Fairbanks is my home today. And if you were to ask people in the interior, as well as people in Fairbanks, what are issues that genuinely unite your region and your community? Among the top things that would unite us is support for the University of Alaska among the interior. I ask everyone here, if you will not invest in workforce development at the university, how will you invest in Alaska's workforce? How will we provide the high demand careers that we need to build Alaska? Fairbanks has a motto of being naturally inspiring. I hope that you will be inspired, as I have been, by the work the university does to educate and keep young people here and support this funding. Thank you very much.
Are you ready for the question? The question is, shall amendment number 16 to committee substitute to House Bill 39 Finance amended pass the House? Members may proceed to vote. Will the clerk please lock the roll? Representative Carrick.
I move amendment number 20.
Representative Carrick.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and thank you everyone again for listening about why we should support the most basic level of funding for the University of Alaska. The $4.8 million increment proposed here is a system-wide budget line item addressing unavoidable costs that the university has had to bear over the past fiscal year. This was included in the Board of Regents' request back in November and was their top priority. Madam Speaker, This amendment was excluded despite efforts to reinstate funding in the UA subcommittee and the full finance committee, and is still not included in the budget. The $4.8 million, for context, would go towards cybersecurity at the university system, would help address insurance premium increases, which are unavoidable, shared services, human resources, and procurement, which will ultimately save money for the university system, emergency response and disability and health services for students and staff. This includes police on campus, student support services, and dispatch for public safety personnel, as well as digital access to the student library system. Again, this amendment addresses unavoidable costs. The University of Alaska is a constitutional obligation of this body that we will maintain a higher education system throughout our state. So I encourage your support for this, the most basic level of support for America's Arctic university system. Thank you.
In wrap-up, Representative Carrick.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just to address the comment from the member from North Pole, the university system just went through a 3-year budget compact agreement in which they were asked by the administration under duress to cut $75 million from the system, and they held to that compact. They did not come to the legislature the last 3 years and ask for additional money, and here we are on the back end of that, and the university is saying, this is our Hail Mary. We have costs we have to address in order to provide services to students, faculty, and staff. So how do we know that they will hold to it? Well, they have held to their agreements in the past. Madam Speaker, I worry about us waiting. We have heard so many budget amendments today, the ones about the university included, that put on the back burner the education of our skilled professionals and homegrown tradespeople that we absolutely must have if we are to develop our natural resources, support our industries, and ensure that the young people like myself who want to stay here are able to do so. I worry for our future. I worry for the many students who are my peers and my cohorts who have followed a trajectory of opportunity that has led them outside of Alaska, away from home, away from our economy, and away from our state. Madam Speaker, I ask the question of every member of this body, how and when will we act? And I want to close with a quote from Winston Churchill, who said, "I never worry about action, only about inaction." I encourage your support. Thank you.
Are we ready for the question? The question is, shall amendment number 20 to committee substitute to House Bill 39 Finance Amended pass the House? Members may proceed to vote.